Hey, this is Jacob, and in this video, we're going to be going over how you can go about learning a language through music. Now, music is something that's very near and dear to my heart. Like, even before I got seriously into language learning, I'd always really enjoyed listening to music. Like, I have a very diverse taste when it comes to music. Like, I like rock, I like hip hop, dance hall, and I'm open to trying other types of music as well, like other genres of music that I haven't heard of. So when I really got into language learning and I realized like there's ways where you can learn a language through music, I think that just really like hooked me, and that's like one of the most pleasurable things that I do when it comes to my whole language learning journey. Now, just as a quick disclaimer, like music is not the only thing that I do to help myself with learning a language, but music can definitely help to reinforce some of the things that you're already doing with learning a language. Like it give you a really great supplement. So in this video, I just want to go over a few different strategies and just a few different best practices as far as using music to help you with learning a language. So there are basically five things that I want to touch on in this video when it comes to learning music, and in no particular order. That's picking songs with clear lyrics, listening to songs repeatedly, singing along if you can, doing some interactive listening, as well as limiting the amount of time that you spend listening to music as a whole. So we're going to go over each one of these things one by one. So the first one being to pick songs with clear lyrics. So this should be kind of obvious. Like when it comes to listening to music, you want to be able to hear what the person is saying in the song. And obviously you don't want to pick a song that doesn't have any lyrics at all. You can't just be listening to like guitars and like drums and stuff. That's not going to help you with picking up the language. It may help with culture, with connecting with the culture, but not so much with the language. So you want to make sure that when you're picking a song to listen to, that you can hear the lyrics, and it should be a good amount of lyrics as well. Like there should be at least like a couple of verses and stuff where there's a couple of lines where you can sort of like get into the rhythm of listening to the song. Like if there's like barely like any lyrics into the song, then that's not really going to help you be much easier either. Like music in general already doesn't have like a ton of words compared to like reading a book or watching a regular video or something like that. So when it comes to the music, when it comes to listening to music, that is, you want to make sure that there's a good amount of words that you can actually hear the words, so that way as you're listening to the songs you can like slowly begin to pick up the words. And another thing too is that you want to avoid songs that use like a ton of slang. Now unless it's you want to pick up that type of slang, or maybe that you want to learn a very specific dialect of the language, and picking up the slang of that language would be useful to you. Generally speaking, you want to avoid that. You want to find songs that use neutral lyrics or neutral words, so to speak, words that are generally like understandable by most people. So that's my recommendations in regards to that. So moving on, the next thing I would highly recommend when it comes to listening to music to help you with language learning is that you want to listen to the same songs repeatedly. So there's this old saying that repetition is the mother of skill. So just listening to a song, excuse me, like either like once or twice and stuff, you may not be able to pick up everything that's within that song. Like you may have to listen to that song repeatedly, and then over time, like the words are going to come clearer. You're going to really start to understand and appreciate the song even more and more. Like there are some songs that I started listening to like early on in my language journey, and I barely understood like what it is that they was trying to say. But now that I listen to that same song right now. Like now, the song just has so much more meaning to me, and I can just make sense of everything that's happening within the song. So that's something that you will notice as well. As you listen to the same songs repeatedly, like the words are gonna start to sink in. You're gonna start uncovering like deeper layers and deeper meanings to what the song is about. And another thing too is when I say to listen to the same song repeatedly, I'm not saying that you can't like go and like listen to music from time to time. So that's something that you can do. That's something you can incorporate. Like if there's an artist that you really like in your target language, you can go and you can find a song of that target artist. I mean, if they've released a new song, you can listen to it, and you might even consider it like adding that song to your rotation. But generally speaking, I highly recommend just having like a certain amount of songs, whether that's like on 5, 6, or 10, or however many songs, and just make sure that you're listening to those songs like on a regular basis. Another thing too, when it comes to listening to music, now listening doesn't just have to be you just sitting there and like listening to the music. Like, if you feel so inclined, you can also sing along as well. And the thing is, like when you're singing along to the song that you're listening to, now you're able to reap additional benefits. Like one of them being like singing helps with improving your pronunciation in your target language. Like obviously, like when you want to speak a language, you want to make sure that you're pronouncing the words right, and by singing you're able to work on that, and it's enjoyable too at the same time, especially if you're into singing. It also helps with memory retention as well. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying before, as far as listening to the same songs repeatedly. Like as like have you ever had a song like you really enjoyed, and as you kept listening to it, like it just got to the point where you had memorized that entire song? Like there are songs that I had listened from my childhood that I can still remember, like either most of it or I can remember the entire song, just because I just listened to it and I sang it like over and over again. So like by singing along, like you're able to really just get, it adds a whole new dimension to you to like incorporate in that song like into your life, like being able to just pick up the vocabulary and working on your pronunciation. Enhances your listening skills. Like in order to be able to sing along, you have to be able to listen, understand what's being said, and then be able to sing along at the same time. So there's definitely a lot of benefits of singing. Like for me, like when I so right now, like as far as singing, like I'm doing this primarily in Esperanto. So there's a few songs within like the rotation of songs that I normally listen to, which I'll sing along to them. So that usually adds up to about 10 minutes per day for me. So moving on, another thing I would highly recommend considering is doing what I would call interactive listening. Now, this is a concept that I had gotten from Refold. I'm not sure if they're the originators of the concepts, but they're the people that I heard it from originally. So the way that interactive listening works is that as you're listening to the song, what you do is like if you come across like any unknown words, or maybe there's a grammar pattern that you don't quite understand, you can go and you can like look up like in real time, like okay, like what does this word mean, or like why is this like phrased in this way and stuff. And by doing that, it allows you to be more engaged on with the song itself. Like you're not just listening to it passively, but you're listening to the song in a way where you're really trying to understand everything that's being said, and you're trying to make things as clear for you as possible. Now, you probably can only do this. Like this is more like a one-time thing. Like once you go and you interactively listen to that song once, I mean, it may not really be worth it to do it a second or third time. So this is like one of those like one-time strategies you can do, because like once you go through it and you're able to break down that entire song, you're able to understand like every word, every lyric in that song. Now the future times when you listen to it like passively, you're really just able to get more out of it, because now you understand everything, understand every word, like every point of that song. So that's something that you can also like consider throwing in there. Like for me personally, like I'm not really a huge fan of interactive listening. Like when I listen to music, I just want to like kind of let the music wash over me. But if you do want to get a little bit more juice out of the music, like interactive listening could be a good option. Now, last but not least, when it comes to using music for like your language learning, I would recommend like limiting the amount of music, the amount of time that you spend listening to music daily. Because like I mentioned earlier in the video, music is not very language dense. Like there's a lot of like song, there's a lot of like drums and guitars, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's usually accompanying like the vocals that you hear like in the music. And it's just not very dense. Like if you were to take like a 2 minute song, let's say, versus like maybe like a 10 minute like YouTube video on like history or geography or whatever, like the language destiny is like night and day. So while I am a huge fan of listening to music, I do understand that there are certain limits to it. So like I'll listen to music, but I'll make sure that I listen to more like videos, or like videos like spoken word videos, podcasts, like reading books. I'll make sure to do more of that to offset the amount of time that I spend on listening to music. So I mean, when it comes to some people, I know like some people are just very much against like listening to music or not counting music. I think you can have your cake and eat it too. Like you can listen to some music, but just keep it to like a limited amount, and make sure that you're not becoming dependent on the music. Like I recommend anywhere between like 20 to 30 minutes per day, like at the very most. Like for me, like I'll do 20 minutes per language per day. So like right now I'm studying three languages, English, I mean Spanish, French, and Esperanto. So that adds up to an hour per day. But all that other time that I spend working on my languages have absolutely nothing to do with music. And another thing too, like if you feel that music is getting in the way of your other input activities, like watching YouTube videos, like where people are just talking, or like listening to podcasts or reading books. Like if you feel that music is getting in the way, then you can always reduce the amount of time that you listen to music, so that way you can focus that time more so on other more productive activities. So yeah, so that's all I have to say in regards to listening to music to help you with language learning. Hope you guys found this video useful. And if you have any tips as well about how to use music for language learning, definitely feel free to share it in the comment below. Like if music is something that you're using, or maybe you're for music, you're against music. Like I'm open to hearing everyone's comments and suggestions. So with that said, guys, yeah, going to be signing off here. Now, if you enjoy videos like this in regards to language learning, just make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon. That way, you'll be notified as soon as I release new content. This is Jacob Laguerre, and I am signing off. Peace.